here with Shope Steel Workshop. I've got my iron in the fire already. Go ahead and set this up. I'm going to be taking an old adjustable wrench jaw and making a knife out of it. Straighten this section out first. That does not want to move. Hopefully you guys are able to see all that fairly clearly. I don't know how well this is all coming through. It's a lot of fun. So. Holy shit, we're up to 20 already. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to be forging a knife out of the jaw of an adjustable wrench. Hell yeah, 38 already. Don't be afraid to drop a comment. I do like to try to answer them. And also, I think it makes the video more entertaining. Hey, I appreciate the like. Trying to get my handle on my smaller hammer. Try to get it burned as well. It makes it easier to hold and work with. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate that. It does help more than you realize. Well, let's get some conversation going. Where's everybody watching from? Nobody has anything to say. That's unusual. Usually the internet has plenty to say. It's not pulling it up now. All right, so if you guys do have questions, comments, whatever, just want to tell me I'm fucking ugly, I already know. But go ahead, drop it. I enjoy the back and forth. Smelting nothing. I am forging out a knife out of a old adjustable wrench or pipe wrench, whatever you want to call it, using the jaw section. And I've not yet decided what style of blade I'm going to go with. Hey, what's going on, APOC? Steely! Cheers, bro. APOC, good to see you, man. If you guys saw me smoking, no, you didn't. There we go. Fine. Start. Hey, what's going on, Fire? Drinking beer and smashing metal, dude. Don't you wish it was, what's going on, Buckeye? How you be, dude? Been a long time. Haven't seen you in a while. Is that Mr. Blitz? So let's go ahead and start, oh shit, dude, that's bad. I hate to hear that for you. So let's go ahead and introduce the gang real quick. Steely and Buckeye Blitz, or Buckeye 7. These are my moderators. These are my watchdogs. They keep chat half-ass civil sometimes. And they're also my harshest critics. They are the ones who will call me out over anything and everything. And they will roast me mercilessly. Way harder than anybody else can do. Fire and APOC, those are guys I play some video games with. Great people. I'm sure all of you will get along splendidly. I'm going to let that come up to a temperature a little bit higher this time. Okay, you are all horrible human beings, terrible people, and I hope you all get run over by a bus. Is that better, Fire? As if to further drive home the point. Look, I'm crushing Bush Light and smashing hot steel. What the hell do you expect out of me? Kayak, baby. I'm into the real shit. I ain't into that fake shit. And look, I understand expensive. I've been off work for the past month. Hey, it's the cheap shit, okay? I can't afford the good shit. I've been off work for a month. Kayak wintergreen fine cut. Because the lady behind the counter couldn't fucking understand English when I said long cut. It's still almost a awakened. Huh? What do you mean? I guess. Yeah, Blitz. I tore my. I tore some ligaments in my ankle, so I've been unable to work. I can't go and do my full time job, which sucks. So I'm cutting deals left and right out here in the shop. All right, let's get this drawn out a little longer. Now let's add this in here. Let's just see. So I learned blacksmithing because I bought a knife off the shelf at a big box store. I'm not going to mention the name of the store nor the brand of the knife, but I bought it for skinning deer, shit like that. It fell on the floor, broke off at the handle, and I said, I bet you I can do this cheaper and better. Can I do it better? Yes. Can I do it cheaper? Fuck no. So I learned it out of spite. So 8 years ago, give or take, is when I started kind of learning this uh, trade, hobby, business, whatever you want to call it. Oh fuck. Okay, so I'm just gonna go off of what everybody pictures in their head when they say knife for the most part, which is a Bob Loveless drop point hunter. Very simple design, very simple blade point. The blade's kind of something like that. Uh, Something like that made out of a simple high carbon steel like 1095 with a walnut handle and brass bolster. You're looking around 150. That's my cheapest, other than railroad spike and blacksmith's knives. Shut up. That's my cheapest, other than blacksmith's knives and railroad spike knives. Those I charge 50 for, but they're not. I don't like showing those off because they're just so damn boring. I mean, this is one I made a while ago. This is a blacksmith's knife. It's just a blacksmith or a feasting knife. It's something you can stick your finger through, cut, do whatever you got to do, drop it. You ain't got full use of your hands. Back to that. And I sell those for 50 bucks. They're cheap. They're easy to make. Railroad spike knives. I think everybody's seen one by now. There's not much to them. I sell those for 50. I'll tell you what, there's an idea for a drinking game. Every time I drop something, take a shot. Matter of fact, don't do that. I don't want to be responsible for anybody's deaths. Okay, so that's a good question, and that's one I really like. So if we're just talking steel, we're not talking anything else, just strictly steel for a simple drop point hunter. A 12-inch by 3/16 to quarter-inch 10 bar of 1095 is going to cost you anywhere in the neighborhood of $12. That's for a 12-inch piece of steel. Um, and depending on who your supplier is and the shipper they use, it can be higher. So the bar of steel that's going into making this one that I'm taking my sweet ass time on, which is over a quarter-inch thick, and when I started was almost 16 inches long. That bar of steel cost me $45. That's just the bar of steel. That's not the wood, the propane, the sanding belts, brass. By the time you start adding all that up, I don't really make much back off of this. This is something I'm doing because I enjoy it now. I really do. I love it. Thanks, man. I'm going to end up clipping the tip section. I'm going to clip that off with the angle grinder. Um, the reason for that being that it'll be just a lot faster and easier than if I forge it. Because if you forge it, you can always forge in errors. And those are always harder to cut out. It's a lot easier for me to just forge this most of the way to shape. And the handle is, like I said, I'm going to try to keep this as, yes, everything is done in shop. This is just the outside section because it's not really advisable to do forging indoors. These are all really good fucking questions, by the way. Like, these are the questions that I love to get. Oh, fuck it. I'm going to go for the tip on here. What's the worst that can happen? I have to cut about an inch of steel off. Completely redo the entire design of the blade. So let's do a quick story time real quick. This hammer I've had, the head, which is what I will call the hammer. I'm not worried about the handle. The head I've had for about 8 years when I first started this journey. My wife got me this from a big box store. This is one I got for myself. 2.5 pound hammer from a blacksmith in Ireland. And it was about 10 times the cost of the other one, but it is miles away my favorite. I've done swords. You, fuck you, man. There will be no yellow M anywhere in my shop. Nah, it's okay. I'm never gonna put. So, anyways, no, back to the sword thing. No, that's absolutely a great question. I actually have made a Damascus twisted ladder Damascus pattern sword that went to a buddy of mine, and I put a Buckeye handle on there. Well, I said Buckeye. It was a red, gray, and black micarta handle with OSU dremeled into the handle to expose all the layers, which made it look really fucking pretty. Man, Frodo, you don't got to drop shit, dude. These are some of the best fucking questions I've had in a long time. Actually, once you get the balance and everything right, they're not hard. so there's a hole in my pants, and I forgot about it. Oh shit! I just turned the phone around. Hold on a minute. Okay, so there's a hole in my pants, and I just found out about it the hard way. Piece of hot slack just went right down my pant leg. So that right there is already, we'll call it 6, 7 inches long. Sorry about that. I had to dry some of the sweat off my face. It's starting to get down in the eyes. Uh, Swords, things like that aren't really terribly difficult. They're more time consuming, for sure. They're far more time consuming because you have to make sure everything lines up and the balance has to be good. But after you figure that out, they're really not bad. Ah, doggy. Uh, Ankle. Torn ligaments in my right ankle. So, and I don't have a good story for it. I just stepped off the edge of a curb wrong, and when I did, the bottom of my foot met the back of my calf. There were concerns that it was broken, but thankfully, no breaks, no fractures, nothing like that. Just a really nasty sprain and ligament, and tore ligament. Got my ankle wrapped up right now as we speak, and I'm working. So I can work out here, but if I have to go to my primary job, I can't do that because I really don't feel like trying to pick up 200-pound transoms and move those around while working uh, on an ankle that's not really all that stable. This is an anvil that I welded together. that I made out of a forklift tine. I took one of the tines off of a forklift, took an oxyacetylene torch, cut it into sections, and I welded it up, and it's been working for me for the better part of 4 years. And it's heavier than the NC Tools anvil that I had, and it's locked in solid. I love it. Reduce the ring. So every anvil has some ring to it. You'll hear it now. If I were to take those chains off of there, that ring would be a million times louder. Appreciate it, Steely. Yes, Fire, I can see your writing. Although you should be ashamed of yourself for writing. There are people who can't read who would be very insulted if they knew what you just said. Picked up a warp. We got the blade most of the way forged out. I'm going to put a little bit of a kick in the handle section. Uh, but I've got to try to preserve those threads on there as much as possible. If I still had a rawhide hammer, I'd use it now. All right, I got to go find my needle nose, my long-handled needle nose pliers because my tongs aren't going to cut it on the tip section. They open up too wide. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see your question about Damascus. Let me scroll back up here real quick. Fans info. I don't see anything about Damascus fire. I didn't see anything about Damascus, brother. Which that could just be YouTube being funny. Sometimes comments get lost, and if there was a word in there that could have been even slightly questionable, it may have just got lost in the. They may have filtered it out. So go ahead, ask your question, man. We got a while. We got to let that. We got to let that steel come back up temperature. So. Oh yeah! Look at that. That's pretty right there. That's just about the curve I want on that handle. That's right. Fire still have, if you can. That's right. Banana curve. Fire, if you go ahead and ask that question again, man, I'll answer it as soon as it pops up in chat. I did not see it, and I looked back through chat. I don't see it again in chat. Everybody's wrong. My curve's to the right. Dude, you must have like a just shoot me a message in Discord. You've got my Discord. Shoot me a message in Discord, and I'll answer it when I get back inside. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The only thing I can come up with is you're using a word somewhere in there that YouTube has banned. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and normalize it, which just means allowing the steel to relax. Do that because you've been beating the shit out of it for a while. Before I quench it, it needs to relax and cool down several times. Back to black. If I can afford it, Grizzly Wintergreen. But that's $10 a can. Fuck that shit. Yeah, the only thing I can come up with is somewhere in your question there is a forbidden word, fire. Fuck, that's nice. No, no snow. No, it's about 78 degrees here today. After I finish this next normalizing cycle, I'm going to move the camera just so you guys can see the heat treat process a little better. Fire, you must be in like South Florida or something, dude. I love snow. I love snow, ice. It doesn't matter. It could be negative 30 outside. I'd be happier than hell. I don't like being hot and nasty. It's about as much fun as watching paint dry. I've got like 4 people commenting. It says there's only 3 viewers, but I'm sure there's more. I appreciate all the likes today, guys. That you guys may not realize it, but that really does go a long way towards helping me grow my channel, grow my business. So, and while we wait on this to cool down, this is my chance to go ahead and say, if you are interested in a knife, go check out Facebook and message me over there. Just search Show Steel Works. You'll find me there. Um, and right now, like I said, I'm out of work for a while, so I'm cutting deals left, right, and center. If you just give me your budget, I can probably work within it as long as it's not unreasonable. If your budget's $20, go to fucking Walmart and get something from there. I appreciate it, Steely. This is going to be the last heat cycle before we go to heat treat. So I guess you guys get to hang out with me for a minute instead of sitting over there in the mount. Yeah, you better go to a fucking Walmart, dude. Check Dollar General. I don't know. Oh, all right. Go ahead and turn this camera around. That quenching oil right now is screaming hot. If I drop this in here, it stays in here until tomorrow because I'm not sticking my hand down in that fucking oil. Like I said, new drinking game. Take a shot every time I drop something. Good grief. All right. There you have it. I've got to do some grinding to clean it up and everything like that. Okay, so that's a really cool question. Okay, so are you familiar with metallurgy at all? If so, um, if not, let's break it down. So, at the microscopic level, steel, the grains of steel are kind of at that at the point where they're red hot like that. When I'm at quenching temperature, they're open like that. Quenching brings them down to a fist, makes them tighter, harder, makes for a better blade, depending on the carbon content of the steel. And with all the different variables and all the different types of steels out there, you can't necessarily harden some steels. Some steels for knife forging, or some steels are good for knife forging, some are not. And this is where I get to display my particular flavor of autism, which is metallurgy. And as a metallurgy nerd, there we go. That's better. Holy shit! Hell yeah! So as a metallurgy nerd, I've dug deep as I can into the science behind quenching. Using water will will absolutely cool that blade off much faster than oil. However, however, if you cool it off too fast, they shrink too quickly, and it will basically explode the steel. And you won't figure that out until you hear that little fucking telltale sound of in the fucking quench tank. So you quench in oil, get the blade, everything nice and neat and clean and down to a reasonable temperature. Then you, not recommended, you can cool it the rest of the way off in water. So for a blade like this, it's a mystery steel. I'm going to always quench in oil. There are some steels that can be quenched in water. W series steel, like W1, W2, in theory, can be. No, it actually makes it too strong. Well, got to choose my words correctly here. Technically, yes, it does make it weak. But what it does is those molecules of steel become too close. It's like if you have that one relative, that one family member you can't be around. You love them, but you can't be around them or be too close to them, or it just gets weird and awkward and arguments happen, things like that. Like me and my dad. I love my dad. I'd do anything for him. Can't live with him. We are too much alike. If me and my dad share the same living arrangement for too long, we will argue, we will fight, and so it's not good. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And I'm by no means an expert. There are people who can absolutely explain it better than I can. Uh, I'm just a guy, dude. I'm just a dumb redneck from Southeast Arkansas. Well, originally from Ohio, but I'm just a dumb redneck down here in Southeast Arkansas who likes making knives. Mm. At some point, a steel can become far too hard to be useful. At that point, it becomes brittle. And when it becomes brittle, it's no longer tough and it will break. Bro, Steely, I tore ligaments in my ankle walking off a fucking curb. I'm dumb. Anyways, I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna spend time with my wife. I'm gonna go spend time with my family. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, you guys had some good banter back and forth in the comment section. Stay tuned because I am going to be working on that blade again. Oh, excuse me. I am going to be working on that blade again, but it won't be in one of these videos. So, if you want to see the finished product, go check out facebook.com. I love you, Steely. If you guys want to go check out the Facebook, that's where the finished product will be. Hopefully, you guys have a great week, and we'll catch up with y'all later.